Hi, my name is Jeff Stewart Dixon. I'm the owner of Awakening Resource Center out of Charlottesville, Virginia. We offer mindfulness programs and training and workshops, and I'd like to welcome you to this brief PowerPoint presentation about the basics of mindfulness, what exactly is mindfulness, what goes on during the training, and how can mindfulness benefit you. So thank you for being here. This might be a class that you're taking, or you have an intellectual curiosity about mindfulness, or perhaps your interest is stress-based. You're looking for a solution or a cure to a particular stress that you might be having right now, or you have a passion for mind-body. Whatever your reason for being here, thank you very much, and I'm hoping that you walk away from this knowing a little bit more about mindfulness than when you started. So here we go. Mindfulness, what is the big deal? So this is the cover of Time Magazine, February 2014, The Mindful Revolution. We have magazines and books and sections of universities that are dedicated to mindfulness. There are thousands of websites and pages online that are about mindfulness. Tim Ryan, the congressman from Ohio, is a big proponent of mindfulness. It seems to be a revolution. What is the big deal with mindfulness? Why has it blossomed these last couple of years? The big deal is neuroscience. Mindfulness has been studied, researched, tested, and validated by science. So what neuroscience has been able to do through non-invasive medical technology like fMRIs and PET scans is to see the brain, how it's functioning before mindfulness and how it functions afterwards. There's always an indicator of one sort or another that tells us that mindfulness is of benefit, whether that has to do with the cortisol levels in the immune system or the amount of use that the amygdala is functioning, which is the fight or flight area, the amount of stress reduction. We're able to map the brain and see those areas of the brain that are improved through mindfulness. Very clearly, very concisely, very simply at this point, neuroscience has proven that mindfulness is good for you. So a brief history of mindfulness. It did begin in the religion of Buddhism, 500 BCE. In 1979, John Kabat-Zinn, professor at the University of Massachusetts, who had an interest in Buddhism, began doing research studies, began setting up courses, began doing study groups. He continued to do this throughout the 80s. In the 1990s, his research started to bloom in other universities and colleges, along with the blossoming of non-invasive medical technology, which I just spoke of. This combination then led to many centers and universities throughout the world and the United States. So we have 950 plus throughout the world, 250 plus mindfulness centers in colleges and universities, thousands of teachers, and NIH has to date online, you can find 365 clinical trials. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is very simply non-judgmental awareness, and what I mean by that is the clear sense of consciousness, or the empty sense of consciousness that is located in the head region, that thoughts come and go in, that emotions arise and fall in, and that our feeling states of the body are noticed in. So consciousness is this ability to be aware of awareness, which is none other than what the Latin derivative of Homo sapiens sapiens means, to be aware of awareness. So this awareness, ironically, is a vast and tremendous resource we all of us already possess, and it's overlooked and it's undervalued. It is undervalued because it is usually buried by mental, emotional, and physical reactions. So we have in this picture a simplistic depiction of how we generally bury awareness. Out front is thought, thought patterns, negative self-reference, chronic types of thinking that repeat themselves. And the same with emotion, emotional highs, emotional lows, emotional traps that we tend to repeat, and also with body. Physical reactions, physical debilitations, physical limitations that prevent us from being aware of awareness. So this is fairly typical of most of us. There's nothing wrong with any, we don't want to paint a picture with mindfulness that thought, emotion, or body are bad. It's more or less that we've not noticed awareness, we've not had it brought to our attention as something of value, so we tend to orient our lives and who we are around body, emotion, and thought without this fourth element, this very, very important fourth element of awareness. So how can I be more mindful? The way that we access awareness and mindfulness is by integrating it with body, emotion, and thought. So instead of having body, emotion, and thought on their own, we do exercises that integrate awareness with each of these elements. This is achieved through exercises that are coupled with the breath, exercises that are about relaxation of the body, and exercises around thoughts and emotions. This does take some training. Mindfulness is not something one can pick up off of a book in an hour or an article online. It is something that requires some time, some exercise, some education, and some practice. So it is very much like going to the gym. One needs to exercise it, have someone else who's more proficient at mindfulness show them the ins and outs of what is done and how one can be more mindful. The end result of this process looks like this. Mindfulness balance, a flexible equilibrium between awareness, mind, body, and emotion. The goal here is to have mindfulness be the steady state while the normal ups and downs and changes of body, emotion, and thought occur. There is no getting around the fact that thoughts, emotions, and the body are going to be changing at all times. The key here is to introduce a fourth element that doesn't change, a fourth element that is constant, and that constant is awareness. So that by recognizing awareness and mindfulness and being mindful of awareness, we discover something that is still and quiet and gives us a sense of ground and well-being while all the other changes are occurring. Being mindful, then, has many benefits: physiological, emotional, mental. We will start with the physical body, the first checkbox. A general sense of stress reduction. It can help with chronic pain, can help those who are rehabilitating from surgery or a medical condition, can help those who are suffering from addiction. It can improve the cardiovascular system, the immune system, the general sense of well-being of the physical body. The second checkbox, emotions. Stress reduction in the quality and the type of emotions that we have. Resiliency, which means to be able to bounce back from an emotional hot point, such as anger, to bounce back to a sense of calm. Flexibility, tolerance, compassion, happiness. The third checkbox are mind and mental acuteness. So we have clarity, focus, determination, decision-making, cooperation, communication, wisdom. All of these benefits are simply brought about by noticing awareness throughout the day, by noticing that there is another element to the human being that heretofore has gone unnoticed, and this is how these benefits can be made possible in our lives. The mindful program that Awakening Resources offers a brief description of what we have. And this will be the last slide, and thank you for watching. So the Mindful program does not include 8 hours of meditation in the seated lotus position. There are no complex theories or philosophies to understand, and this does not require years and years to acquire. The Mindful program training that we offer is 8 weeks long, and this includes 20 hours of instruction. The primary exercise that one undergoes during a mindfulness class and in the Mindful program is the body scan. It's just a simple relaxation, a guided relaxation exercise, sometimes seated, sometimes lying on the floor. Other exercises that are usually covered in mindfulness programs and that are covered in our program: mindful eating, breathing, stretching, walking, writing, talking. We actually have an element of our program that includes mindful use of modern technology. Our cell phones, our computers, our means of communication often are a very, very strong point of stress for many of us. So we work with these elements to see how we can incorporate them in our lives without them being so stressful. We try to incorporate them in a very mindful way. Also in our program, group sharing and discussion, just a chance to open up and to share the details of your reason that you might be in a class such as this, and then also how the program is working for you. Teacher discourse. We do have personalized instructions in these programs. Audio, video, workbooks. So it's a full course, this program, which in 8 weeks, I never promise that you get all of the benefits that are listed in the previous slide. That would be, I think, a bit much. But there's always one something or another, one bit of stress that we can promise that something will change for you by taking a mindful program. You will find some element of your life that has become easier. Some greater sense of well-being has been substituted for in place of some stress. So that very simply is the Mindful program and what most mindfulness courses are about. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this presentation. Again, I'm Jeff Stewart Dixon with Awakening Resource Center. Have a great day. Bye.